on the channel, we take a trip to the Temple of Doom by way of Raiders of the Lost Ark with Major Arnold Toht and the legendary, inspirational Short Round.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Indiana Jones unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got Major Arnold Toht from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and from Temple of Doom, we got my boy, we got Short Round. But for all your Indiana Jones figure needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And first things first, of course, I am an Indiana Jones expert, as I have just seen Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom in the last month or so for the first time ever. Yes, long time expert here, looking at 4 weeks of these movies. Have not bridged the gap to check out the other movies. Of course, there's a brand new one coming out. I think it's like Dial of Destiny or something. I think it's about the search for a bar of soap, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody fact check that if you want to, put it in the comments. But by no means am I an Indiana Jones expert. And if you guys remember in my weekly purchases, I gave kind of a little bit of a review. First, of course, I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. Did not do a whole lot for me. It's one of those things where I think in my old age, I got my cane, my walker out. I just think it didn't change my life like it would have if I would have watched this when it came out when I was, not born yet. Maybe that would have been the case there. But maybe if I saw this as a little kid, I think I would have been a lot more into it. I would have had those nostalgia glasses, things like that. But it didn't do a whole lot for me. It didn't change my life. I didn't go back, say, I need to see this again, anything like that. So Raiders, it was what it was. However, this character, Major Arnold, is that right? Arnold? The only Arnold I know from the 80s was from Different Strokes, but apparently Arnold Toht, hopefully I'm saying that name right. I can't even remember it from the movie. I had no plans to get this figure until I saw, we'll call it the zombie head on this one. I had to pick it up because of that. We'll dive into that one here in a little bit. And then Short Round, though, changed my life. Of course, Temple of Doom, the second movie, really the first movie, but we'll call it the second movie, I thought was a cinematic masterpiece. And that's coming from somebody who's one class away from a minor in film, as we all do know. But Short Round stole the show, man. 80s were all about the little kids that were wisecracking. You have my boy Emmanuel Lewis, more on him in future videos. Old Emmanuel Webster himself. Tight friends. Just ask David C. Anderson. He'll tell you all about it. More to come on that. But Short Round was like a young Arnold, like a young Webster, just kind of doing that wisecracking little guy out there. Just what I was looking for in the 80s. And I think he would have been in that holy trinity, of course, led by the hairy bipedal creature Wicket from Return of the Jedi. Loved all those little wisecracking guys, those little tough guys. Short Round and I would have been thick as thieves back in the 80s. And now here we are in 2023, thick as thieves to this day. And it's funny, when I talked about the movie, I had no idea he was still an actor. I said, what the heck ever happened to this guy? He was only in one movie and that was it. And apparently he's had a movie career and he even won an Oscar this year. Whatever that means in 2023. But congratulations to Short Round, getting it done all these years later. I just imagine him, he's never aged. He stayed the same throughout, got his Oscar, all that kind of stuff. But man, love me some Short Round, love those wisecracking sidekicks like that. So Temple of the Doom, cinematic masterpiece. Raiders, and I haven't checked out the rest. I'll get to them eventually. We'll do that. But of course, like I said, we're going to do this like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Where do you start first? Do you start with the main event from the first movie that wasn't the first movie, or Raiders? I don't even know where to start, but I guess I'm going to start with Arnold Toht. We'll say Short Round is the main event. Truly the best figure out of this set. There's no doubt about it. But there he is here looking like a villain there. Got a little cape coat. Oh, the cape coat. Extra danger when you see somebody. Either they can't commit to a cape or they can't commit to a coat. They go somewhere in between. Usually it means nothing but trouble. But interesting packaging here. We've seen it with the Indiana Jones line. It blends together. I'm here for that. Nice front there. You get the glamour shot of the figure you're getting. You get the name. Of course, plastic-free packaging. And we can build an artifact if we need to. Not sure I'm going to build that artifact, but it is what it is on the side there. And then we got some devious sides over here. And wasn't this guy like a Nazi? I guess he was a Nazi of some kind. I'm not sure exactly his official title. I guess Major. There's his official title. There you go. There it is, all the kind of stuff going on back there. Nothing too major going on back there. No pun intended. What's it say? Includes. Includes. It just says includes. Oh, okay. Looks like he's got a gun, a hand, and a zombie head, and an artifact piece. So really all the basics. Everything you really do need at the end of the day he has right here. But let's pull him out, see what's going on. Oh my gosh, we got instructions or something. Bam, see you later, Spider-Man style. Packaging, see you later, goodbye. And then we're all wrapped up in the old cardboard prison here. We even got some instructions how to build that artifact, but I don't know if it's ever going to get that far. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that far to get an artifact. I just don't see that in the cards for me. You never know. Stranger things could happen. A clearance event of a lifetime. Something like that. See you later. Goodbye. What do we got? Artifact pieces. Oh, artifact. Everybody loves an artifact. And we got heads. We got all kinds of stuff going on here. Oh, looks like we got one more thing. Oh, we got a hand. Almost through it. Let the hands have it. There it is. Bam. See you later. Goodbye. This has got to be the Major himself in action figure form. There it is. See you later. Bam, goodbye off the screen. So we get the artifact pieces. I don't know. There it goes. See you later off to the side. Goodbye. All right, accessories corner here. Now we do get a hand here. All right, we got interchangeable hands, plug and play hands. And he's got a little bit of, I saw this movie literally like 2 months ago and I already forgot, but it's like, wasn't he touching it? It was like kind of hot, or I don't even know if it was hot or if it was a curse, whatever it was. But he's got that going on in his hand. Now this reminds me of the great 80s series Werewolf. You ever watch Werewolf from the 80s? If not, man, look that up on YouTube. They got videos of that thing. It was one of the Fox like original shows when little 5-year-old Kyle was turning the channel through like the 5 channels you had back in the mid 80s. Werewolf was one that was must-see television for a little Universal monster fan like myself. I still, to this day, think that is the best werewolf ever of anything. It beats old Larry Talbot, or as my dad would say, whiny Larry Talbot. It beats out on that, too. Check out the 80s Werewolf Fox show. But when he started to change into the werewolf, he'd get the pentagram here, and it would start bleeding. And he'd be like, oh, no. Oh, no, it's time to change into the werewolf, and you'd be off to the races from there. That's what this does remind me of right here. So there you go. And he's got a little gun here. I'm guessing this is a Luger, a Lex Luger. We talk a lot of Lugers on the channel here, but he got a little maroon handle against the black, looking nice. No issues with this at all. I guess a German weapon. I would imagine it's a German weapon, so there you go right there. Then you do get a hat, a little fedora. Never trust a man in fedora. I think that's pretty good rules to live by. Not a lot of people wearing fedoras these days, and if they do, they're up to no good. That's been my assessment over the last couple of years. I don't know, you guys chime in if you agree with that, but just a straight up black fedora here. And now we're going to get down to it, and we got the head here. It almost looks like a guy cosplaying as Rick Moranis from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, another movie I've never seen, but of course know all about. We remember that show. It was always all over the thing, and kids were always going to it at the theater, and I was like, nah, I'm going to go play baseball. I'm going to go do something else. I'm not going to this Honey, I Shrunk the Kid thing. But he kind of looks like Rick Moranis with missing hair in the middle. He's got the big old horseshoe like a young Arn Anderson going around. Looks like the glasses are sculpted in there, so they're not going to be removable, unfortunately. But very stoic face on him, looking just like a guy, looking like an investment banker or a guy you'd see at your bank or something like that. Not looking extra special or anything. A little bit of a small head for the size of the body, too, I would say. But the main event head is right here. It's his like zombie melting face. This is what I'm talking about. Glasses are not removable, but all day long I'm going to have to put this one on. Just, I love the horror aspect of this one. Face just melting away, the white of the eyes, the blood, the whiteness of his skin folding off of him. Just very cool, very horror-like for a non-horror movie, so I am definitely here for that. Oh, look at here, this cape coat comes off, and I guess it is just a straight-up coat if you really want to keep track. He's got sleeves in here, but he wears it like a cape coat, so interesting look here. Feels a lot like a Star Wars cape, coat, cape, whatever you want to call it. Feels like a Star Wars figure. Of course, that makes sense. The same brand team works on the Indiana Jones figures that works on the Star Wars teams. The more you know, folks, the more you know. But looks okay here for what it is. And then we get a guy in a suit, basically, here. He's got a little off-center tie, got a red and blue stripes. I guess, yeah, blue. And you got a black outfit here, a black suit going on, black, all the way down to the gray shoes. Got a little white cufflinks. He's got gloved hands. Oh, gloves. Everybody loves them. Arms do go all the way around on him. Single jointed elbows, side to side. Very Star Wars-like. Hands back and forth, side to side. Nothing going on. No, a little bit of waist in there. He can do decent splits for what he's got going on there. You got a thigh cut, single jointed knees, back and forth, side to side. And you get boots side to side. That's pretty much it. Just kind of looks like a guy. Wouldn't be bad as a manager in your wrestling fed. Maybe a guy in the crowd if you need to do that. Is he going to fit on a ringside stand? His hole is a little short, but he can get in there just a little bit in there. But just kind of a plain Jane looking figure. But all day long, this zombie head is the way to go. That's what I'm going. There's no doubt about it. But if you're looking for just a guy in a crowd or a street human, somebody walking around the streets in your Marvel Legends display, something like that, this wouldn't be a bad way to go to the work, go to office, go to your display if you need to. Or if you're an Indiana Jones fan, more likely or not, you're going to have this in your Indiana Jones collection. So there it is, the Major Arnold Toht. Who knows? But I do know next up is the main event. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the short round. Not sure what that name means, but I'm here for it. Looking good. He's lighting the way with the torch. Looking good. The packaging all the same, just like the other one. Looks like we can build an artifact with this one as well. And it looks like it's a crossover from multiple movies in this wave right here. Be interested to see how deep this line goes, because theoretically you can only go so deep. Wasn't there an Indiana Jones Jr.? Or am I getting that confused with James Bond Jr., the great cartoon in the 90s? Probably the 90s. You got short round right here. Give me the bridge for short round. Give me that bridge. We need that. But I'm here for this all day long. It says short round includes a hat, Indy's hat, a little voodoo doll, a little knife action, and then, of course, a torch and an artifact piece. So he's a little guy. Yes, he is. But he also packs a mean punch, and he's got a lot of stuff coming in here with him. So I'm here for that all day long. Nothing going on. See you later. Goodbye. And we're losing stuff out of the package. That is it. See you later. Goodbye. All right, what do we got with short round? And much like Marvel Legends and a lot of toy lines, the small figure gets the big piece of the Build-A-Figure piece, and that makes sense here. All right, we got some hats. The hats have it. Got that. Where's the little knife? Where's the knife? Where's the knife? Where is the knife? Uh-oh, I don't see the knife. Are we missing a knife? Where is the knife? Oh, there it is. It was under Indy's hat. Oh, that Indy cagey to the end. See you later. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. Off the screen. Goodbye. All right, we got the big artifact piece around it. What am I going to do with this? I have absolutely no idea, but we do get this little piece right here. Is what it is. Now we get down to it, and we get down to these accessories before we dive into short round himself. So we do get Indiana Jones' hat if he wants to put it on and be like, oh, Indy's that sly devil. He puts it on him and kind of just gives him like, hey, good job out there, short round. Puts that hat on him. But you do get Indiana Jones' hat. Great to have. You never know. You could use this with your Matt Cardona figures if you want to as well. So there you go. He does got a little knife, because usually these little guys and kids, it feels like they don't have the big bazookas or the big M80s or anything like that. They don't even have a Luger. They usually got a little knife they picked up, and that's their kind of weapon of choice. And that's what short round has right here for a weapon. And he also has a torch, and this torch is nice. You could reuse this with other toy lines if you really wanted to. Do some other stuff with it. Got a nice flame effect at the top piece. Very kind of wooden sticks all wrapped together, keeping the flame going. Maybe he's going to be for the Olympics. Who knows? He could carry the torch for the Olympics. Very well could possibly be. Then we get the Indiana Jones kind of voodoo doll here. And this is, Temple of the Doom style there. And he's poking Indy and, some of that stuff going on. Be careful those voodoo dolls. If Papa Shango taught me anything in the early 90s, it was don't mess around with voodoo dolls. But we got a little Indy voodoo doll right there. Now we get down to the man, the myth, the legend, the little kid, the short round. He does got his New York Yankees hat. Not quite New York Yankees, but they're kind of dashing around trademarks here. But you know what it is. It's what it's supposed to represent. But I like that the hat is removable on here. I think that is a nice touch. Mixed match between these two hats. I'm here for that. But a nice old school New York Yankees hat, because this movie was like supposed to take place in like the 30s or 40s or something like that. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. But it wasn't supposed to be like a modern rendition of a movie or anything. But we do get a short round here, and he's looking extra short and not so much round. So I don't know where he got that name from, but he's got a nice soft jacket coat going on. I'm here for that. A nice little coat that really looks like what he wore there. Got a little vest underneath and soft goods, and then he's got the littlest wife beater and suspenders, because everybody wore suspenders back in the 30s and 40s all the time. It wasn't until the 90s with Steve Urkel coming back to fruition, really bringing suspenders back into their heyday of the 90s. But definitely looks good on short round here. Some nice tan pants and then some little shoes. No socks. He was a trendsetter. No socks in the shoes. I am a guy that has to wear socks in my shoes at all times. Sometimes my dad, he's all fashionable. He'll sometimes not have socks and he's wearing shoes. It always looks funny to me. I just can't do that. Gotta have socks and shoes. Short round, not playing by my rules, that's for sure. He's a trendsetter in a lot of ways. Of course, articulation gonna be the exact same. Arms go around, single jointed elbow back and forth, hands back and forth. Big old short round splits if you need them. He's got the thigh cut. Single jointed knees. You get the back and forth, side to side on the knees, of course. Back and forth, side to side on the ankles. A lot of movement there. I don't think he's going to fit on a ringside stand either. Oh, there he is. He fits. It's not quite all the way in there, but it gets it just the tip. Just the tip gets in the hole of little short round right here is what we do get there. His head has a lot of articulation. You got neck articulation and head articulation all over the place there. Looking really, really nice. But man, this is a small figure. You can understand why the artifact is in here with him. I mean, it's almost the exact same size as him. So that does make sense to get the most bang for your buck out of this, because even though you got a pretty good amount of accessories, still a very small figure. But just like the Major over here, you could easily put him in your wrestling figure setup. If you got a crowd going on, he could be in the front as a little kid. You could put him walking in a street scene with their Marvel Legend figures. There's a lot of reuse out of this figure if you want him outside of your Indiana Jones world. So that is kind of a cool deal right there if you ask me. But he does look like a little figure of a little kid. It doesn't really look like him. I would say, well, I'm going to put the hat on. That, you know, he puts the hat on, then maybe it does. I mean, it's close. I think in this whole get-up, you know who this is supposed to be. Oh, that's old Short Round. That's who it is. You know who it's supposed to be. But I'm not 100% sold on the head and the face on this one. It's close to know what's going on, but I'm not sure it's exactly who I think it would be, especially without the hat. I don't know if I could have told you. I definitely a couple months ago could have told you who this was, but I can now. I can now for sure. But definitely looks like an interesting figure. I got to think he's probably the most popular Indiana Jones character of all time. I don't know. Is he more popular than Indiana Jones? He very well could be. Or maybe I'm just making that up. But he's got to be in the top 5. Top 5 for sure. There's no doubt about it. But I do like this Short Round. I do like what I see here. Not sure if he's going to go in an indie display. I don't really have an indie display. But I could see him in my wrestling figures, maybe some added figure photography, things like that along the way. I could see that. But you can definitely see that size difference. These two never, unfortunately, got a chance to meet, unfortunately. And I wish Indy would have talked in Raiders a little bit about, oh, it reminds me of my time with my boy Short Round. Apparently, he just forgot all about him. They had that magical adventure, never to be mentioned again, is what happened there in Indiana Jones. But I do like this one here. I want to put that indie hat on him too, just to see what's doing here. Just to see what's doing. Oh, the littlest adventurers. That's what he is right there. But looking good. I'm here for this Short Round. I think this is a must-have figure, whether or not you know Indiana Jones or not. You always need a kid, and we don't get very many kid figures, so really got to take them when we can get them. That's what we have here with Short Round. So there it is, Short Round, Major Arnold Toht. I think I said that right, like I said. But you guys tell me, what's your thoughts on these two? Picking them up, passing, dabbling, all out, all in? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and we got more content for you, including early access to videos like this over on the Patreon channel. Of course, Patreon, your best way to support this very YouTube channel. And don't forget about ProWrestlingTees.com, another place you can support this YouTube channel and all the content it brings on a daily basis for well over 3 years now. You can also hit me up, follow along on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Short Round in the Major, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.